We are on the campus of the University of Evansville for our NSCAA Game of the Week between the University of Evansville and Eastern Illinois. I'm Steve Bell, joined by my partner Keith Tabatznik. Keith, at the start of every season, the goal is always to make it to the conference championship. These two teams are running out of time. This is a big game tonight.
Yeah, they're definitely running out of time. This might be their last lifeline, actually, to try to make it. Eastern Illinois is 4-9-1. Evansville is 5-9-1. They're both sitting at the bottom end of the Missouri Valley Conference, Creighton on the top. It's the top four teams that go. That's what makes tonight so important. Both teams having trouble scoring goals. Evansville scored a lot of goals early, not a lot lately. Eastern Illinois, only 8 goals on the year.
As you look at these two teams as well, they've been in every game, haven't they? A lot of one-goal games, competitive. They could turn it around if they make it to the conference tournament.
Yeah, and to turn it around, they do need to have some goals scored, and that's what they're looking for tonight. And you're absolutely right. They've been tight. Every game has been tight for these teams. And, Eastern Illinois only let in 14 goals. When you only let in 14 goals at this stage in the season, you expect to be a little higher up in the standings.
One thing we've seen is any game, anything can happen. We saw it earlier this week. Cal Poly, UC Santa Barbara. You were at the game. Wild atmosphere.
Well, I tell you, that was something. This was a game at Cal Poly, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, rivalry in college soccer now. Santa Barbara and Cal Poly, they keep going at each other for attendance records and things like that. But in this game, it was Cal Poly. They score first. Santa Barbara comes back to tie it. It goes all the way to overtime. And let me tell you something. Cal Poly scores in the first overtime period, and these fans went on the field. They were happy. It was a huge victory for Cal Poly. Congratulations to them.
And it wasn't just a couple fans, was it? It has been quite a season as NSCAA Game of the Week. We have had some great crowds, fantastic crowds. The sport of men's college soccer is definitely alive and well. Look at some of these attendance figures. 6 record-breaking crowds for the NSCAA Game of the Week. Amazing numbers right here.
It is. And also, if you look at that, you look at the Santa Barbara crowd of over 11,000 and the 8,000 plus for Cal Poly, and they weren't even records.
4,700 at Akron Lee Jackson Field against Tulsa. That was the 1-2 matchup. But again, you look at this, and I know when you coached at Georgetown, when I played college soccer, you didn't have numbers like this. Maybe you did. We definitely did. So that is fantastic to see for the sport of soccer. The crowds are showing up, and we're expecting another big crowd tonight as well. Now let's take a look at the team we just mentioned, the top 25. Akron have won 23 straight games at home. They're still undefeated, and they are looking good.
Yeah, and I tell you what, they just beat Creighton 1-0. Nagy, the great goal scorer for them right now in the country, gets that one. Louisville right behind them. Louisville's the Red Division champions in the Big East. They had a 2-1 win over Rutgers. We see Maryland, North Carolina right next to it. They're at the top of the ACC battling for that. But here's the big one. Connecticut, who's sitting at number 6. Georgetown defeats Connecticut 1-0 on Thursday. Steve Newman scoring his 10th goal of the year. Georgetown wins the Blue Division in the Big East Conference. And then Butler, still one of those teams without a loss, but here's what's incredible. 4-1 win over Indiana.
You see Creighton there at number 9 in Missouri Valley Conference. That loss to Akron as we flip and go to the next 10. Virginia, they're 9-2. Monmouth is there as well from the Northeast Conference.
Yeah, and Monmouth along with Brown, teams that only have one loss on the year, and it's Brown and Penn battling this weekend, and they're both towards the top of the Ivy League Conference along with Princeton. And it was Penn losing to Penn State 2-1 during midweek. But William & Mary, they win the Colonial Conference, an overtime win over UNC Wilmington. Congratulations to them. And, of course, Santa Barbara with their loss to Cal Poly at 10-4-2.
Boston College there, 8-2, and then the final 5 rounding out the top 25. Tulsa, a team we saw on the NSCAA Game of the Week as well. They went from 17 to 22.
Yeah, and in fact, Tulsa was one of 3 of those teams that all lost and that were in the bottom 5. They may be dropping out. 1-0 loss, Loyola Marymount to San Diego, and then, of course, the Indiana loss to Butler.
Those are your Top 25. Top 25 is brought to you by HendrickCars.com. 80 franchises, 5,000 cars, over 100,000 photos. One website, HendrickCars.com. How about the players of the week? We saw the best teams, and it was another fantastic week of college soccer. Men's player of the week, Arthur Ivo, the senior midfielder from SMU, 2 assists. He scored 2 goals during the week. One of them was a 40-yard rocket on a direct free kick. Fantastic goal. Congratulations to him. And the women's player of the week, Said Ayindi, the junior forward from Maryland. All she did was score 2 goals in the final 12 minutes against their biggest rivalry, North Carolina Tar Heels. Congratulations to our 2 NSCAA players of the week.
Big game between 2 Missouri Valley Conference teams that were trying to punch a ticket into the postseason, needing a win, but it was University of Evansville on top tonight. 3 goals and a great performance to end their home season tonight and propel them into the postseason.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, this was a must-win for either one of the teams. Eastern Illinois now really out of contention there. Evansville now can get into the Missouri Valley Conference tournament, and once they're into it, if they can play like they did tonight, you never know what happens. Creighton may be sitting on top of that, but Evansville has to feel like they'll have a good chance going into the tournament. They still control it. They probably got a little work to do still, but 3 goals tonight. Very well-deserved victory for Mike Jacobs and his crew.
Let's break down the action in this one, taking a look first at the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, again, in the first 45, Evansville was all over them, but it took this. This was a foul that was on Ian McCaw's land, and he did a little bit extra of that, got cautioned for it. Then the long free kick going in from Brandon Causey. Doesn't look like anything's going to happen. It bounces twice, and then on the turn, Tyler Kincaid puts it back. Sean Maloney, that's Tyler's second goal, 3rd goal of the year. He's going to have a second goal coming up. Sean Maloney later would be out of the game after a concussion. And then a corner kick in the header by Tom Irvin going in, and it's Tyler Kincaid, right place at the right time, his 4th goal of the season. That's his 2nd goal of the night for Tyler Kincaid. 2-0 right now for Evansville, but I don't think they're done. They're looking to get more, and they deserve it. This is Blake Schneider, the left back, serving it in. Tom Irvin gets on the end of it. His 3rd goal of the season, 3-0 to Evansville. That definitely puts it away. Evansville celebrating this goal, looking like they're going to be crawling into the Missouri Valley Conference tournament with that, and they were trying to get number 4. Philip Manga, the freshman, comes in, has a number of chances, puts this on, cleared out wide. 3-0 Evansville. Congratulations.
Didn't need it. Save it for the postseason. They get the win. Brought to you by the NSCAA. Don't forget the 2011 National Soccer Coaches Association of America Convention is in Baltimore from January 12th through the 16th. Don't forget, registration is now open. You can sign up at www.nscaa.com.